Welcome back. We've got another lesson to go through. We're still dividing polynomials, but this time we're going to simplify. In other words, we're going to factor. Yeah, we're going to factor. This stuff never goes away. It doesn't matter what math class you're in. Here we go. So if we're simplifying rational expressions that have variables, we've seen stuff like that. How about x squared plus 3x plus 4 over x squared minus 9? Yeah, okay. So we're first going to factor everything that we possibly can, and then, lo and behold, we are going to reduce or cross out any common factors in the numerator and denominator. They have to be 100% identical twins. Have to be exactly the same. If they don't match, and you can't divide out a negative, then it doesn't simplify. After that, whatever you have remaining is your final answer. All right, let's try some. Here we go. So example 1, x squared minus x minus 30. All right, I need to know what multiplies to negative 30 and adds to negative 1. That's negative 6 and positive 5. Since my first term is just an x squared, I need an x multiplied by an x. I don't got to worry about dividing all the other stuff out. So I'll have an x minus a 6 and an x plus 5 as my factors. That's a baby one. That should be very easy for you guys to factor. You've been doing this a heck of a long time. Divided by x minus 6. All right, I have 100% the exact same factor. The x minus 6 in the numerator and denominator. What does that leave me as my final answer? X plus 5 over 1, or just x plus 5. That's it. That's your answer. You've simplified and you're done. Move on. Here we go. Number 2. This one is upside down. I have the linear factor in the numerator and the quadratic in the denominator. So in the numerator, I see a GCF. Everything is divisible by 7. Okay, so start with that. 7 multiplied by the quantity of x minus 2, and my factors for x squared minus 10x plus 16. What multiplies to 16 but adds to negative 10? Well, I know I can do 8 and 2 to give me positive 10. Make them both negative. Yes, perfect. Again, first term is a single x squared, no leading coefficient. So my factors are just going to be x minus 8 and an x minus 2. Do you have a factor that reduces? Yep, you do. X minus 2 is 100% the same. What do you have left over? A 7 in the numerator and an x minus 8 in the denominator. There is absolutely nothing else to reduce. That's as simplified as it gets. Here we go. Number 3, x squared minus 2x minus, x squared plus 2x minus 80. Divided by 7x squared minus 49x minus 56. All right, the denominator looks kind of gross, but guys, like, do GCFs. Like, think about that first. I know that 7 and 49 are divisible by 7, so is the 56. Okay, so I'm going to cross that guy off. I'm going to write it as 7 multiplied by the quantity of x squared minus 7x minus 8. That's a heck of a lot easier. Yeah, of course, let's go with that. All right. Numerator, what multiplies to negative 80 and adds to positive 2? 10 and 8 are 2 apart, 10 and 8, and I need the 8 to be negative, 10 to be positive. And that is because 10 plus 8, 10 plus negative 8 gives me the negative 2, and 10 times the negative 8 gives me the negative 80. Alrighty, so the numerator factors are x plus 10 and x minus 8. Denominator already has a GCF of 7. Go ahead and put it there. All right, I'm hoping that I have a factor that will reduce. Like, that's the goal. So let's make it work if we can. What multiplies to negative 8 and adds to negative 7? Psh, negative 8 and 1. Hello. Again, we factored out the GCF of 7, so that leaves me with an x squared, so I need an x minus an 8 and an x plus 1 as the factors of the denominator. What reduces? That's right, the x minus 8. So now you notice, it doesn't matter which order I write those factors in as long as they're identical, one in numerator and one in denominator. When you simplify, what do you have left? The numerator has an x plus 10, the denominator has a 7 multiplied by the x plus 1 factor. You do not need to distribute the 7. Just leave it outside. It's a GCF. It's all good. Don't make any more work. Number 4, 90x divided by 270x squared. All right, this one's meant to be super easy. Lots of ways you can think about it. Some of us go, oh, hey, they both have a 0, so drop the 0, 9x over 27x squared. And then you go, oh, hey, they both have x's, so that gives me 9 over 27x. And then you go, oh, I can divide them both by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1, 27x divided by 9 is a 3x. Cool. Some of you are going to look at it and just real quickly go, yeah, that goes away, that reduces to give me x, and I get 9 over 27x or 1 over 3x. Whichever way, like however many steps it takes you to get there, just do it. Just because you see single terms does not mean we're trying to trick you. It just means that you have just really easy stuff to simplify. All right. Oh, now we've kicked it up a notch and we all want to go, ah, you're so mean. This is awful. All right, find your GCFs. What do you notice about everything in the numerator? Definitely have x's in common, and the 24 and the 40 are both divisible by 4, even bigger, 8. All right, so let's factor out an 8x in the numerator. 40x squared divided by 8x is 5x. Negative 24x divided by 8 is negative 3. All right, that's so much easier to work with. Okay, let's do the same in the denominator. Every single term has an x, so I know it has a GCF of the x. What about the coefficients? All right, we just did something with 56. That was 7 times 8. 72 is 8 times 9, and 80 is 8 times 10. Okay, cool. So I can factor out an 8x. Good. I love that, because that's a GCF in numerator and denominator that I can completely wipe out. It's gone. All right, so 56x cubed divided by 8x is 7x squared. 72x squared divided by 8x, that'll give me, a negative 9x. I forgot to say the negative. And negative 80x divided by 8x is a negative 10. Okay, so right now, before I do anything else, I'm going to reduce that common factor of the 8x. Now I'm going to look off to the side. I can't do anything else with the numerator, 5x minus 3. And if you're looking at the denominator, you should know already you can't simplify anything else. If you don't catch it, here's why I know. To get a 7x squared, the only values I can use with integers that multiply are 7x and x. So even if I can factor the denominator, it's not going to reduce with anything in the numerator. That's okay. We're still going to practice it just to see. All right. And it's good review because this one factors a smidge differently. We got an extra little step. What multiplies to negative 70 and adds to negative 9? All right, so I've got 1 and 70, 2 and 35. 1, 2, 3 does not go in there. 4 does not. 5 and 14, and then 7 and 10. Okay, I know 5 and 14 are 9 apart. So I can have a negative 14 and a positive 5. Those two multiply to give me negative 70 and add to give me the negative 9. Now here's the extra step. Because I have a coefficient in front of the x squared term that didn't reduce, I need to put it over top. Or it wasn't a GCF to come out all the way, so I got to fix this guy. 7x over negative 14, that reduces to give me a factor of x and a negative 2. So x minus 2 is one of the factors. The other factor, the 7x and the positive 5, don't reduce, so that's how I get the 7x plus the 5. Okay, now when you're looking, you clearly definitely see that nothing else reduces. The 5x minus 3 cannot reduce with either factor in the denominator. Good to always check, and it's always good to practice your factoring skills. All right, I think we've got one more. Is this our last one? Yeah? All right, now if you want to pause and be a brave soul and try it without me, do so. If not, here we go. What are we always looking for first? GCF, numerator, both divisible by 2x squared. That leaves me with a factor of an x minus 6. Denominator, every single term is divisible by 7. But I'm going to go ahead and factor out the negative 7 because I want that x squared term to be positive if I need to continue factoring. So that will leave me with negative 7 multiplied by the quantity of x squared minus 5x minus 6. Okay, nothing reduces so far. And off to the side, we'll look to see what multiplies to negative 6 and adds to negative 5. That is negative 6 and positive 1. I know a lot of us go to 2 and 3, but double check, like don't just jump to it, double check. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 3 gives me a positive, and 2 multiplied by 3 gives me a positive of the 6. So I have to have negative 6 and 1 to work. All right, get our factors all done. 2x squared in the numerator multiplied by the quantity of x minus 6. Denominator is negative 7 multiplied by the quantity of x minus 6 and x plus 1. We do have one factor that can be reduced. So when we simplify, our final answer is 2x squared over negative 7 multiplied by the quantity of x plus 1. Again, no need to distribute that negative 7 into the remaining part of your denominator. Just leave it, it's all good. All right, that's lesson 2. Piece of cake, we love this one. Factoring, great stuff. Make sure you're practicing. See me if you need any help. Bye, guys.